Hello, my name is Sensei Alex Kakuyo, and the title of today's talk is The Buddhist Teaching of Sunyata. Sunyata is a Sanskrit word that translates to emptiness in English, and in Mahayana Buddhism, it's used in the context of all living things being empty of separate, permanently abiding existence. So what does this mean? Well, if you look at this robe I'm wearing, on the surface it appears to be a permanently abiding separate entity all of itself. But if we look closer, we find that it's actually several pieces of clothing that have been stitched together. If we look at each of those pieces of clothing, we find that they're made out of hundreds of threads of fabric. If we unwind those threads, they're made of smaller threads. If we keep unwinding and keep unwinding, eventually the threads disappear and the robe disappears. It's empty. It has no permanently separate self outside of everything else in existence. It's a conglomeration of countless threads. In the same way, we are empty, made of an infinite number of karmic threads that have come together to create us and allow us to exist in this moment. Now, what does this mean from a practical standpoint? Well, if we understand this teaching of Sunyata, if we understand the interconnection between us and all living things, we naturally work for the benefit of all the people, plants, and animals around us. Why? Because we understand that any harm that comes to them also comes to us. In the same way that if I pulled on an errant thread in this robe, if I pulled long enough and hard enough, I'd end up with a giant hole in my robe because the thread makes up the robe, and the people and the plants and the animals, they make us. So, to review, Sunyata is a Buddhist word, Sanskrit to be exact, which translates to emptiness, and it's meant to show us that we do not exist separate from the rest of existence. Rather, we exist as part of a much larger whole. And this goes back to the Buddhist teaching of oneness, which I've talked about in previous videos. So that's the talk for today. I hope it was helpful. If you'd like to read articles I've written about Buddhist practice, you can do that at my blog, The Same Old Zen, which can be found at www.thesameoldzen.com. You can also email me at sameoldzen@gmail.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you're watching on either Twitter or Facebook, please share and retweet this post. That way we can all continue learning together. So that's it for today. Until next time. Amitabha.